Do it again, do it again.
Hello?
Hey, buddy, how you doing today?
Alrighty. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little tired. It's kind of warm here. How you doing? What's going on with you?
Not much. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I had a interesting, well, not really too interesting, last few days. Just been kind of recording and a few other things, and came, I came back from the hospital today.
Butter.
I found out early Tuesday morning my brother he got hit by a car on his way to work.
Oh, is he okay?
Yeah, he just suffered like a really bad concussion was all.
Okay.
And he's just been like really out of it. He's doing a lot better. They said that he had a little bit of bleeding on the top of his brain, and that there was a little bit of swelling, and he has developed a little bit of a speech impediment because of it. So, and which is something I can, just heavily understand. Like anytime he's trying to talk and he's just repeating one word over and over and over again, and then he has to stop himself, and he just gets this look on his face of just pure frustration. It's like I know, I've been dealing with that shit my entire life.
Like silence.
Yeah, like oh god damn it. Like, I know, it sucks. Oh, so and I want to ask you really quick. Okay, you're familiar with the Marvel Ultimate Universe?
Yeah.
At all?
Well, yeah, because when we did the comic book discussion, we kind of got into that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, have you ever read or like watched any of the shows that came out of that at all, or?
I haven't read anything, but I did watch a couple of the shows that came out of it.
Which ones?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh God.
Yeah.
How much of it did you watch?
Little bit of it.
All right. Did you like it at all, or?
Yeah, there was parts of it I liked, and other parts I'm just like, oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah, because for quite a while now, I vlogged about this the other night. I've noticed for a while it was available on Netflix Instant, and I was really curious about it because I had heard about it from quite a few other people on the video sites that I share with, and everybody all said the same thing. We fucking hate this show. I was kind of wondering, like, what's so awful about it? And just from what little I've seen of it, I can understand. And so last night I sat down and I watched a couple episodes on Netflix. Ooh, yeah, I get why a lot of people really don't like this show. It's pretty bad. It's pretty damn bad.
Okay.
I did a little bit of reading for the Wikipedia page for it, and I liked how a lot of the heavy critics were saying that this show, like, it feels like they took a lot of whatever original material there was and then just ran it through a juvenile strainer.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, good God, do I ever have to agree with that? It just feels so lazy and just so juvenile. Especially with its rapid fire jokes.
Yeah.
And everything. I did think it was funny how somebody kind of compared it with Family Guy. And my first initial thought was, okay, first of all, if it was first of all, if it was like Family Guy, there'd be a lot more references, and the jokes would just go on and on for
there'd be a lot more 80s reference rather than... There's a lot of gaming references in this thing. And I mean, not like good gaming references either.
Yeah. And there were so many moments where I did have to pause the show and just go, oh, Jesus Christ, that was terrible. And then, I have to go and entertain myself with something else, to take my mind off of it for a few seconds and then go back to it. The
stories themselves, I think, could have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just the writing kind of sucked. Just the joke thing. Now, I did like the episode where they had Deadpool in there.
I imagine that probably came a lot later because I only watched...
Yeah, that was kind of like the last season that they did.
Okay. I take it that it's not on the air anymore, or is it?
No new episodes, but yeah, they still show it.
Okay, then I guess it's just in syndication then.
Yeah. But then again, I don't think they've started the new season of it yet.
Yeah.
It ended like last fall.
Okay.
Last new episode they showed.
Okay. Well, either they're on break, because I didn't see anything on the Wikipedia page that said that the show was finished or anything like that.
Yeah, no.
I was a bit surprised to read that the show's only been out for the last couple of years, though.
Yeah, that's about how long it's been out.
Yeah, so it's still pretty recent.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what I did like about the show. I did like how Aunt May was done differently, how she was very spunky and very energetic.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like how you would kind of expect an old person who's actually raising somebody to be, a little bit more independent.
Yeah. It is sadly a little bit cliched nowadays to be doing that, though.
Yeah,
actually.
A little bit.
But, I mean, at least it's different from how the original character was always set up. And I'm pretty sure that might be taken from the comic book, how her character was different in the Ultimate Universe.
I wouldn't know. I've never read any Ultimate Spider-Man books.
Yeah. That's okay. Me either. I do understand that basically that for the Ultimate Universe, he was basically back in high school and that he was still a teenager.
Yeah, they kind of kick it back to its roots and just...
Yeah, which I understand was what the whole Ultimate Universe was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a different take on a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And this is what was so funny to me about the whole big reboot thing that happened, not just with DC, but Marvel as well. How the Ultimate Universe up to this point had only been around for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they suddenly decided, okay, you know what, let's just reboot. It's like, the series is only 10 years old, and you're already rebooting?
Yeah, I mean...
and
Lord!
And how did they decide to kind of initiate this? With a really shitty world event where Magneto, he drowns the world in the ocean because they say, well, because he has Thor's hammer and the power of magnetism, he shifts the magnetic poles. And there were lots of people screaming, that's not how his power works, but what the fuck ever. I mean, who cares? And they kill a shit ton.
And from what I know, that's not how Thor's hammer works either.
Yeah.
And don't you have to be worthy of it to be able to lift the damn thing?
well, they say that, because it's the Ultimate Universe, that Magneto was able to control the hammer. I mean, he wasn't wielding it, he was controlling it with his powers because it is metal.
Oh, okay, yeah. That does make a little bit more sense because it is metal.
Yeah. Though I would say that, it's magical metal, would that still apply? But whatever.
But still, wouldn't he like actually have to have physical contact with it to be able to control it? But
who cares? I mean,
I mean, you can kind of nitpick that apart, really.
Yeah, and overall, it's a really shitty story. I mean, he kills Xavier.
Okay, why would he kill Xavier?
Well,
like, yeah, they have their differences, but they still kind of consider themselves friends.
Well, he does it because after Magneto drowns New York, Magneto goes and has a talk with Xavier, and while they're having this conversation, because Magneto is talking about how he wishes, to rule the world with mutant kind, so that only the strong will survive. Blah blah. And Xavier compares him to Hitler.
Okay, yeah, to a guy who survived the concentration camps. Yeah, I can kind of understand why he killed him now.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're talking like a nutcase.
Yeah.
And so he snaps Xavier's neck.
He kind of is talking like Hitler at that point.
And so he snaps Xavier's neck.
Okay.
Yeah. Which everybody says, oh, wow, well, okay, well, great way to fuck up their friendship, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's really even worse about the whole, like, flooding of New York, they kill off a shit ton of characters in the most pathetic way. I mean, they kill off Nightcrawler, they kill Beast, and basically, like, they all die in the flood, basically.
Oh, okay, so no heroic battle. They just drown.
Yeah, basically. And,
yeah, fuck them.
And, yeah, I mean, maybe you could make some sort of argument to say, like, well, a lot of those characters weren't that popular. Maybe not, but they did have their fans.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, none of them were too happy to hear about, Nightcrawler's dead and this person's dead. And a lot of people died kind of basically off-panel. Yeah, like you don't even know how they died. They're just dead.
Yeah.
And and it just gets progressively dumber from there, and yeah, it was pretty bad. And well, going back to Ultimate Spider-Man, another thing that was just really kind of annoying, all the fourth wall breaking that they have him do. Yeah.
It was okay when Deadpool was on there because, well, that's kind of what Deadpool is known for.
Yeah. Let me actually ask you a question. While that was going on, did Spider-Man at one point interrupt Deadpool and say, "Hey, what are you doing, man? That's what I do." And Deadpool at all say to him, "No, actually, this is what I do. You just stole it from me."
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, good, because
it's like, yep, pretty much.
Yeah, because you never did this. You stole this from me, dickhead. I gave birth to the fourth wall breaking. At least I think he did. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? It's not a very good show. And
no, not really.
I mean, like I said on my blog, I understand that it's, that's aimed more at kids, but you also have to realize, I mean, older people who grew up on comic books and grew up on Spider-Man, they're probably going to want to watch this too. And then when they see it, they're just going to be like, wow, this is complete and utter crap.
Yep.
And
although I did like the episode where Spider-Man and Wolverine switched bodies.
Oh, that happens?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Mostly because Spider-Man can control the claw thing. So it's like,
what season was that? I mean, was that the first season, or?
Probably around season 2.
Okay. Yeah, I also find it kind of annoying how they felt the need to make all of the other heroes who are later with Spider-Man all teenagers as well, and they really have to hammer in the idea that they're teenagers. So you got Iron Fist and Nova and Luke Cage and whoever the girl was.
White Tiger, I believe is what her name was. But
thanks. How, God, I mean, you first meet them, dude. It's like,
and just like, okay, enough with the dudes already. Even teenagers don't say "dude" that many times.
And I suppose it could have been a lot worse. Like they could have had them talking like some teenagers nowadays might talk with "oh LOL" or "totes" or "hella."
Yeah, if they'd done that, I'd just be like, and I'm not watching this.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. So that was
In
the first
fact,
part.
I'm thinking of finding out who wrote this shit and finding him and beating the shit out of him.
Yeah. I forget what one of the producers or whoever. Oh yeah. I think it was a producer, but somebody who calls themselves Man of Action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems to be doing a lot of these shows.
And I mean, my first thought is that your actual name?
No.
I mean, is that your legal name? I mean, did you legally have your name changed? You know, like
he could have. He could be like, he could have gone crazy like the Ultimate Warrior and legally changed his name to the Ultimate Warrior.
I was just about to bring that up. By the way,
do it.
Warrior's not afraid. Warrior's ready. By the way, did you hear about the Ultimate Warrior recently?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Him passing on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny, you know, because when I was rethinking about that too, it was I mean, I only remember maybe a couple of matches that we saw when we were kids that had the Ultimate Warrior in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mostly I remember him tag team fighting with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And what were the two guys? Like, we talked about this maybe like a couple of weeks ago too. Like when I first heard about it. There was there were these two particular wrestlers, and this is back in the old days, back in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
He was, what was his name? He called himself Mr. Perfect or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Perfect.
and I remember the other guy called himself the Brain or something like that.
Yeah. Bobby Brain. Yeah.
And because, and like the only reason the only real reason why I remember this is because every single time he would come down to the ring during his introduction, he always came down in a graduation gown and cap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I guess that was because that was the most quote-unquote luxurious costume they could buy that emphasized the idea of, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
We have a limited budget here at the WWF.
Yeah, well, you gotta remember, this is when they first started off, and they hadn't quite become famous yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't quite the WWE, and that really didn't happen until like the mid-90s,
mm-hmm.
right? Or
yeah, because there was like some confusion between the other WWF, which is the World Wildlife Federation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew about that.
Yeah, there's like another thing. So there was like some confusion. This went the World Wildlife Federation's like, yeah, people are starting to confuse us.
So that's why they changed their name.
So yeah, they just kind of it's like, you're going to have to change your name. So they just went, it's like, okay, fine, we're WWE now. We're World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still watch wrestling every once in a while, or are you done?
Yeah, more or less. I kind of keep up with it a little bit. Just
yeah.
Every now and then they got something interesting going on.
Yeah. I quit after Brock Lesnar turned evil again.
Yeah, they do a lot of flip-flopping.
Yeah. And I understand they're having some, well, and this was quite a while ago when I first heard this. Who's the Mexican wrestler, the new one?
Sin Cara?
Yeah, Sin Cara. I understand that they were having some problems because they were trying to change his movesets, but he kept on botching it.
Well, I would say he's still around. I'd say they probably solved the problem, but it was because he can't speak English, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I understand that. And that they always had to have a ref who spoke Spanish, and then they would, have to try and have somebody who he had wrestled with before. But it was also the fact too that because he came from the wrestling background of being a luchador wrestler, they were at the same time they were giving him some different moves that they wanted him to perform, but because he wasn't too familiar with them, he kept on botching it a lot. Now, and that's what I understand. I mean, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, so. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be botching too many moves to me, but...
Yeah.
Maybe that was like during practice and they eventually worked it out. Or something. I don't know.
Who knows? I have been wanting to get back mainly into the wrestling video games because I don't. Which one of the wrestling games was it that we were playing a lot? Was it?
It was the SmackDown ones.
Yeah, but which one was it that we really started playing a lot? Was it the 2010 or was it? No, it had to have been earlier than that.
No, it's when they started doing the SmackDown versus Raw, and then they just kind of changed it over to just WWE. Well, during the 2000 thing, they just kind of changed it over.
Yeah, because those were the ones that allowed you to start making your own wrestler.
Yeah.
And I remember we had a shit ton of fun, just doing that. And hell, our characters even became official tag team partners in the game storyline for a while. But then at one point, when I was playing it, and this was still back during the early, not really the early days of wrestling, but this was still back when Kurt Angle had his other minion wrestlers with him. I forget their names.
Yeah, I do too. Since he moved over to the other company, you don't talk much about Kurt Angle now.
Yeah. And well, this was one of the last matches I played on this game because we were having a tag team match. It was your character and mine, and we were fighting Kurt Angle's friends. But before the match would start, the game would just crash. And it just kept doing that every single time I tried to play the game. And so it came to a point, well, shit. Okay, I guess I can't play this anymore. It's really kind of sucked. I understand that the latest ones, or one of the latest ones, obviously still allows you, with the character creator. I don't know how much more in depth it allows you to be. I know that you were playing one of the most latest ones, either the one that came out last year or the year before.
Yeah, I'm playing the absolute latest one, and yeah, the 2012 one, they did add in ability to create your own entrance video.
Yeah.
But they got rid of it in 2013 because...
That's bull.
Well, I kind of understand why they did it, because when you created it, and then you went to go save it, it took 20 minutes for it to load.
Oh.
So I can kind of understand why they did it.
Well, and granted, I don't know diddly squat about trying to make a video game or anything like that. But I would like to think well, couldn't they, maybe compress some of that stuff, or I don't know. Hell, I don't remember.
It may not have been 20 minutes, but it sure felt like it was probably closer to 5 to 10. But it still took quite a while.
Yeah. Which one was it where you made a pretty in-depth entrance for one of your heavier wrestlers? Like one of the last times when I was there and I brought my character over and we fought. Which one was that?
Probably 2009, 2010.
Okay. I mean, they obviously didn't. Well, I mean, were there problems in making the entrances and then them having loading difficulties or anything like that?
No. But you couldn't create your own entrance video, the thing that plays during the on the Tron thing when your character goes through.
Oh, was that part of the problem?
Yeah. That's kind of what it was. It just, in order for you to do it, and it's not like you could get too in depth with it. Basically, they gave you like a bunch of little videos that you could do.
Right.
And then you like chose one and kind of chose like what type of symbol and what color your name would appear as, and then what type of symbol you would have,
mm-hmm.
and whatnot. And yeah, it took a while for it to load.
Right.
Like I said, probably closer to 5 to 10 minutes rather than 20, but it still took a little while.
Right.
I actually usually wound up like switching the channel and watching something else while it was loading.
Right. So can you still create your own entrance?
Yeah, you can still create your own entrance. You just can't create the video itself.
Right.
That plays there in the Tron. Although they do like have a couple of non-superstar videos that you can in there now.
Right. Okay. I thought what you meant was that they took away.
No. The entrance itself, the entrance moves yourself. Your wrestler coming in and going, hey, you can still create all that shit.
Okay. You just can't, do whatever sort of background video is playing. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not a big deal at all.
Yeah. No. It's not. It's not a big deal. Just.
Yeah.
I kind of like having my own personal background thing.
Yeah.
Where my character was actually doing shit.
Yeah. I would like to get back into playing one of those games. More or less, especially if I can, really create my own.
Yeah. Unfortunately, during the story mode thing, they don't typically have your character being there. They do have a wrestling universe where you can do matches with your character, but it's not really a major thing, and most likely your character's not going to show up for a while.
Okay. Yeah, because you know what that really reminds me of? It reminds me of when I first was playing the Raw versus SmackDown, or like whichever it was.
I think it was the one before they moved over to the Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think it was still just a SmackDown thing.
Yeah. Because when you made your character, then you got to go through the game's story mode with your character. I know that part of the thing was that you earned experience points and such by competing and then winning matches. Well, the thing was that and the game would go through a schedule of weeks, and sometimes you'd go normally you'd go maybe one whole week and your character wouldn't have a match. And then week 2, oh, you have a match. Oh, you lost because your character's not very good because you just made him. And oh, hey, here's week 3. Okay, well, now the story kicks in and it's involving you, and now you're going to have this big bad tag team match, but your character's still not very good and your partner's AI controlled. I guess you're just fucked.
Yeah, by SmackDown versus Raw, they
fixed that.
Yeah.
So that it was a lot more about you. And then
they don't have that anymore. Like with the latest one, they basically just kind of did like the 30 years of WrestleMania. You just played 30 years of WrestleMania, just matches from various things.
Yeah. But yeah, they were still pretty good games, though, as far as I remember.
Oh, yeah. The gameplay itself is still good, and the character creator is much more in-depth now.
Yeah.
Especially when you, do the move editing, your wrestling moves. They actually have a thing in there to where you can actually set templates.
Oh, cool.
Like my female wrestler, Sarah. She's kind of got like a grunge look to her, and basically I made her a female Jeff Hardy. I don't know if you know who that is.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah. But basically he's kind of that whole grungy type culture, a little bit nuts, does a lot of high-flying type stuff.
Yeah.
I just basically have her with his moveset.
Cool. Cool. Very nice.
And like my Hulk Hogan-esque character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went and did his template.
Nice.
So he wrestles exactly like Hulk Hogan.
Cool. Does he have the Hulk Hogan? Well, I'm guessing they don't have his original entrance from when they first brought him back.
No, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't have the entrance where he's doing the voodoo child thing.
God damn. I'm sorry, but that entrance was awesome.
I know.
It was freaking awesome, man. It was the Hulkster.
Doing voodoo child.
Let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do when
But they do have his
runs wild on
original entrance, which is what I got him with, complete with the music.
I don't remember his original entrance at all, or if he really even had one. I mean, they probably just had him come out of it's Hulk Hogan! And
yeah, basically is a lot of him doing that whole...
Yeah. Tearing my shirt! Yeah.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you! I can't hear you, I'm too old!
I can't hear you! Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm going to need to turn up my hearing aid. Okay, now I can hear you!
Yeah.
You know what's really so goddamn silly? More especially when you go back to the matches when they brought him back, was his thing that he would do when somebody would be punching him in the head and he starts hulking out. I mean, it looks more like either he's having a seizure or he's having a little mini Hulk temper tantrum.
Yep.
And then
it's kind of funny.
And then he does the whole, point the finger at you, and then he, kind of goes wild on you, and
Hulkamania is running wild.
Yeah. I still can't help but enjoy it.
I know, it's just, that's kind of the whole reason why I created that character, just for sheer nostalgia.
Yeah. Good times.
Especially since I named him the Patriot. He's got in the background the American flag waving.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him with American flag pants on.
Yeah.
Boots. And he's wearing a mask with the American flag on it.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, it's like he might as well have been in the movie Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
God damn, I mean, that was really all that movie needed. I mean, he might as well have been wearing a friggin' American flag around him.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
No, that's okay. It's just it's just sheer cheese, basically.
Yeah, he's kind of a semi-serious character, but at the same time, he's not.
Yeah. Well, I made a character. I don't remember what I called him.
I believe it was Triumph. Named Triumph, and he was like 3 foot tall.
Yeah, he was like 3 feet tall. He was fat. He had a huge space between his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
He had big old buck teeth. He was ugly as fuck. And basically, I mean, he wasn't meant to be a very good wrestler, and like, I even gave him like the most worthless finisher possible, where it just looks so stupid, where he sends the other guy across the ropes, and then he does like a cheap little like clothesline move on them, or something like that, and that was it. I don't even remember what the rest of his moveset was. I don't even remember how well he did in the storyline, but like part of his thing was that he was also like incredibly cocky and full of himself.
Nah.
Yeah, so I was really kind of hoping like this guy's gonna get his ass kicked a lot.
Yeah.
I don't. Jesus, my phone's going off. Sorry.
Alright.
I don't remember how well he did, but yeah, that was interesting. I know I made. I know I tried to make a few other type of characters. There was my main character that I made that I called the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's purely kind of an acrobatic character, but he also had a lot of submission holds.
Yeah, as I remember, he kind of had his arm proportions kind of off.
Yeah. Really, I don't know what I was thinking. I think for the most part, I just wanted him to be like really, really cool and really badass.
Yeah.
And then for whatever the I think uh, when he was called down to the stage, when both characters were called down to the stage, I think the Machine was referred to as the Pain, and then Triumph I think was referred to as the King, or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to the ring, the King! Yeah, I'm a big dumb dork. Woo! Yeah, pretty silly.
Yeah.
Pretty silly. Pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you can now edit your own finishing moves together.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, that's something I think they introduced back in 2009? Yeah, 9.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah,
at first you could like really only like do like a standing finisher.
Yeah.
Still haven't added a submission one, but now you can do off the top rope finishers.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah, because I was trying to remember when those games first started coming out, because I think the first one that you and I were playing, I mean, were you still in town with it when that game came out?
So. Because I like created like a character like on your system, on like your game.
Yeah. Because we actually fought each other a couple of times, and then we fought our general managers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Although, I do like another one of my female wrestlers. I named her Lilith, and she's basically, and her call sign is the Demon Queen.
Oh, cool. Nice.
She's got long, claw-like black fingernails, and she's tall for a female, but not beefy.
Mm-hmm.
But yet she's got a lot of power moves. Basically, one of her finishers is the original sin, and basically she knees you in the guts, then lifts you up over to her shoulders, and then spins you down onto the ground.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I gave the Machine 2 finishers. I remember I gave him the choke slam, and then I'm sure I'm gonna mispronounce his name or something. Takahashi's kick finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good ones.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, it's been like quite a few years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can now even set signature moves.
Cool.
That just basically kind of set up your finisher.
Yeah.
One of hers is the choke slam. Just basically she grabs you on the throat and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, I'm gonna stop this recording that I was doing. I mean, it looks more like either he's having a seizure or he's having a little mini Hulk temper tantrum.
Yep.
And then he does.
It's kind of funny.
And then he does the whole, point the finger at you, and then he, kind of goes wild on you, and
Hulkamania is running wild.
Oh, yeah. I still can't help but enjoy it.
I know, it's just, that's kind of the whole reason why I created that character, just for sheer nostalgia.
Yeah. Good times.
Especially since I named him the Patriot. He's got in the background the American flag waving.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him with American flag pants on.
Yeah.
Boots, and he's wearing a mask with the American flag on it.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, it's like he might as well have been in the movie Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
God damn, I mean, that was really all that movie needed. I mean, he might as well have been wearing a friggin' American flag around him.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
No, that's okay. It's just it's just sheer cheese, basically.
Yeah, he's kind of a semi-serious character, but at the same time, he's not.
Yeah. Well, I made a character. I don't remember what I called him.
I believe it was Triumph. In Triumph, and he was like 3 foot tall.
Yeah, he was like 3 feet tall. He was fat. He had a huge space between his teeth.
Mm-hmm.
He had big old buck teeth. He was ugly as fuck. And basically, I mean, he wasn't meant to be a very good wrestler. And like, I even gave him like the most worthless finisher possible, where it just looks so stupid. Where he sends the other guy across the ropes, and then he does like a cheap little like clothesline move on them, or something like that, and that was it. I don't even remember what the rest of his moveset was. I don't even remember how well he did in the storyline, but like part of his thing was that he was also like incredibly cocky and full of himself. Yeah, so I was really kind of hoping like this guy's gonna get his ass kicked a lot.
Yeah.
I don't. Jesus, my phone's going off. Sorry. I don't remember how well he did, but yeah, that was interesting. I know I tried to make a few other type of characters. There was my main character that I made that I called the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's purely kind of an acrobatic character, but he also had a lot of submission holds.
Yeah, as I remember, he kind of had his arm proportions kind of off.
Yeah. Really, I don't know what I was thinking. I think for the most part, I just wanted him to be like really, really cool and really badass.
Yeah.
And then for whatever and I think when he was called down to the stage, when both characters were called down to the stage, I think the Machine was referred to as the Pain, and then Triumph, I think, was referred to as the King, or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to the ring, the King! Yeah, I'm a big dumb dork. Woo! Yeah, pretty silly.
Yeah.
Pretty silly. Pretty bad.
Oh yeah. You can now edit your own finishing moves together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's something I think they introduced back in 2009. Yeah, 9.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
At first you could like really only like do like a standing finisher.
Yeah.
Still haven't added a submission one, but now you can do off the top rope finishers.
Cool. Cool. Very nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause, I was trying to remember when those games first started coming out, because I think the first one that you and I were playing, I mean, were you still in town when that
Yeah, I
game came
think
out?
so. Because I like created like a character like on your system, on like
Yeah.
your game.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we actually fought each other a couple of times, and then we fought our general managers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Although I do like another one of my female wrestlers. I named her Lilith, and she's basically, and her call sign is the Demon Queen.
Oh, cool. Nice.
She's got long, claw-like black fingernails, and she's tall for a female, but not beefy.
Mhm.
But yet she's got a lot of power moves. Basically, one of her finishers is the original sin, and basically she knees you in the guts, then lifts you up over to her shoulders, and then spins you down onto the ground.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I gave the Machine two finishers. I remember I gave him the choke slam, and then I'm sure I'm gonna mispronounce his name or something. Takahashi's kick finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good ones.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, it's been like quite a few years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can now even set signature moves.
Hmm. Cool.
That just basically kind of set up your finisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of hers is the choke slam. Just basically she grabs you on the throat and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, I'm gonna stop this recording that I was doing.
Female, but not beefy.
Mhm.
But yet she's got a lot of power moves. Basically, one of her finishers is the original sin, and basically she knees you in the guts, then lifts you up over to her shoulders, and then spins you down onto the ground.
Nice. Yeah, I remember I gave the Machine two finishers. I remember I gave him the choke slam, and then I'm sure I'm gonna mispronounce his name or something. Takahashi's kick finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good ones.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I mean, it's been like quite a few years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can now even set signature moves.
Hmm. Cool.
That just basically kind of set up your finisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of hers is the choke slam. Just basically she grabs you on the throat and.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.